LJ.
Welcome to the LJC Show!
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is Autism Mom Maitha, and today our discussion will be the part 2 of our episode about addressing challenging behavior. If you haven't seen the part 1 of this topic, please check them out on our channel. Again, I am no expert nor a professional. All that I'm sharing are based on my own experience, and facts are from research. Just a recap of our part 1 episode. Challenging behavior is anything my kids does that puts them at risk or make things harder for me to manage. For me, it took me a lot of behavior to deal with, so I could see a pattern and analyze the function of the behavior. All behavior has a function. How do we analyze or determine the function of its behavior? You could ask these 2 questions to yourself. Why is the child doing this? Or what is he getting out of it? When you're able to answer those 2 questions, that will be the function of the behavior. The first function of a behavior is to escape or avoid. To escape a demand or an activity, or to avoid a person, to avoid a conversation or interaction. The second function of a behavior is to obtain attention or an activity or a preferred item, to obtain a break or even a sensory input. Why do we care about the behavior function? It's because that child has a need, and having a behavior is their way of communicating with us. After we figure out the function, then we could teach the child the appropriate alternative behavior. I will show you a clip of my son LJ, and I would like to challenge you to determine what type of behavior was he showing and analyze the function of the behavior. And I'd like to show you what alternative appropriate behavior we taught him. Why did you do that, LJ?
Where you do that with?
Why did you do that for?
With the rubber duckies?
LJ, can you answer me properly?
With
Look at me.
Woody's boss arm. Who broke boss arm? Woody and Bo? Woody and Bo? Woody and Bo Peep? Bo Peep? Woody and Bo Peep? Ernie and Elmo and Lashonda? Ernie and Elmo and Ariel? Ernie and Elmo and Miss Piggy? Ernie and Elmo and Lashonda? Ernie and Elmo and Miss Piggy?
don't bother me. Don't bother me. Don't bother me.
So what do you think of that? What do you think is the type of behavior that we are dealing with the first and second video? The behavior that we are dealing on those videos are self-stimulatory behavior or verbal stim, or we call it silly talks. It's a repetitive scripting of words. So why is the child doing this? What was the function of the behavior? So the function of the behavior there is to avoid conversation or interaction, because he's aware that I was taking a video and it'll be requiring him to have an interaction with me. So obviously he was trying to get out of it. He's trying to avoid having conversation with me. He's trying to get out of me filming him and having interaction with me. So on the third video, it's showing there the alternative appropriate behavior that we taught him. So instead of his doing silly talks, we taught him how to say don't bother me, or you could teach him to say not now or maybe later. So the strategy there is to maximize reinforcement on appropriate behavior. Since he uses words better that is more appropriate than silly talks, then to reinforce that appropriate behavior, I had to stop filming him. You might think that this behavior is very easy to handle. Yes, it is harmless, but it is challenging for me because it concerns language. It concerns communication, interaction, and functional conversation. Language is the #1 deficit of children with autism. In fact, for me, it is the root of all the behavior. LJ may be verbal, but it's difficult for him to express his feelings, his emotions, his thoughts. It is difficult for LJ to sometimes express his wants and his needs into words. That is why I say it is challenging, because it's a continuous battle for us. It's a consistent teaching and learning. It's an everyday thing for us. Then, to address the problem behavior, we need to acknowledge the need of the child. We need to teach how to communicate his needs, his wants, his emotions. Here's a tip that I have learned from the past that I always keep in mind whenever I need to teach LJ or JC an alternative appropriate behavior. Do not tell them what not to do, but tell them what to do. Does that make sense? CJ, stop doing that! Don't hurt yourself! What's wrong, CJ? Tell mommy what you want. So that's an example of teaching your child how to communicate his needs and wants on a more appropriate and positive behavior. And since the language is really the problem, and they cannot express what they really want or need or feel, somehow as a mom you would figure it out, and so directly teach them what to say. For example, I'm hungry, so you will help the child to say it. Hey CJ, say I'm hungry. So in every situation, ask yourself, what could my son be telling me? What was he trying to tell me? And then whatever you thought he was trying to tell you, teach those exact words in your mind, and in that way he would learn to communicate better. Teaching language and communication is a very wide discussion, so that will be probably on another episode, another video. But for now, that is one strategy for addressing challenging behavior. Thank you guys for watching today's episode. I hope that you picked out something there. And as always, our goal is to support and give awareness to the autism community. So please share and like our channel, subscribe, and click on that bell button for notification for our next videos. And always remember, support, educate, advocate, and be kind. Till next time, God bless.